So, Norocel, gratitude for Norocel. Let's continue. We met after the exam for university for geology, and in the first place, it was a brief encounter somewhere in the city, but then we had a chance to spend some time together because the first year, and I'm guessing other, the whole country loved the great leader, of course, and obeyed his wonderful command. And at one point he said we need to put agriculture first or something, have the Revoluția Agrară, agrarian revolution, which meant, for one thing, they would take the army, they would take the students, pupils, children, old people, whoever, not the apparatchiks, no, of course. We were all equal. Animal farm, yes, all animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than others. Into the fields to help to gather the record crops, because they reported always that we've collected more corn, more wheat, everything was in record numbers, more than last year, past the 5-year plan. And in reality, we now know that what they did in many cases, first of all, the numbers were wrong. There was no food in the shops. True, most of what was produced was exported, but that's a different story. And what they did, to give you the dimension of this fucked up system, which some want to perpetuate, to replicate, to whatever, emulate, he would fly over in a helicopter in some areas, and in order for him to believe this is already, I mean, the corn was ripe, they harvested and everything's fine. What they did, in fact, was to give the impression, image is everything, okay, they would just bury the crops into the ground. They would go with machinery, whatever there was there, over it, because there was no time, they didn't have anything to, or for whatever reason, they just destroyed whatever it was there. But from the helicopter, from the air, from up in the air, it looked like it was fine. And wherever he went to inspect, or in the city, they would bring him some tomatoes, to make it look, there's prosperity, abundance. So anyway, we were assigned to this task. We went to collect, I don't even remember what the hell it was there. Potatoes, I'm thinking. Anyway, something we couldn't eat, because that was also a sorry fact. This year we went to potatoes, and another year we were in the outskirts of Bucharest somewhere. I remember this also because that's where I hooked up with the woman. I forgot her name. She wasn't that resplendent, but the woman who was who went in ahead of me. She had the average of the three exams was better than me, the only one. And we had a brief sexual intercourse, which is what happened in 90% of the cases. I mean, it was just once and goodbye. And I say, well, let's not get into this now. And at that, near Bucharest, at that practice, as it was called, we were doing something with onions. Near Giurgiu, about 60 kilometers from here, south, I think we had potatoes, or anyway something we couldn't eat because that was part of the unhappiness, reason for unhappiness. If we were to pick up, I don't know, cherries, that wasn't the season, it was fall, or I don't know, peaches, or at least we could have some potatoes. And I got closer with Norocel there because what happens was this, I mentioned yesterday. For some reason, I had this fast track inside. Normally, you would go after the exams. Once you were admitted in university, you had to go for 9 months if you passed the exam for some university, some faculty or another, one faculty or another. 9 months shorter term in the army. But if you didn't pass, you would have to go for more than a year. I don't know, 18 months. I don't know how it was. So, Norocel, I forgot for whatever reason. I think it's because he didn't get in the first time, and then I don't know, he didn't do the army because he had the condition. Name Norocel means lucky, something like lucky. And they named him Norocel Lucky because it was a miracle he could be born. He was late or early. He was short. He died eventually at a tender age. I don't know, he was 42 something. So 6 anyway, young, of heart condition. I think he died in the bathroom. And so he didn't do any army, but then he went with another exam. We were the two who didn't go in the army with the rest. The rest, let me think. In this first year, there were maybe, let's say, 80, 90 students and 40 men, let's say. And out of the 40 men, we two, as far as I know, and I can remember, were the only ones who didn't join the other 40 in the same unit, or maybe in 2 different units in the army somewhere. And they came in as a group, and they had some ties. They have had some ties when we started, as opposed to us, who were just each other. And this was beginning of Casablanca, the beginning of a beautiful friendship.